It's the Big Rich Live on the Mike Radio Show here on YouTube. The real news and strong opinions given here. A platform to chop up game with the family, you dig?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
What's good, people? What's good, people? Big Rich here. Big Rich live on the mic. Radio show here on YouTube. Sorry for the it's a little delay. Had a lot of stuff going on this week, trying to stay on time and try to do that month of shows on time when it's supposed to be. So we're trying to do it. So this is the third show in a row that's going to be on time, and fingers crossed to continue doing what we need to do. So welcome. We back in the building, bigger and better than ever, trying to make it do what it do, as always. Let's start with our social media. Twitter is capital B, capital R, live on the mic. Our website, www.bigrichlivonthemic.com. Instagram is Big Rich Live on the mic _ between each word. Our email address is bigrichlivonthemic@gmail.com. Black Spot and Facebook is blackspot.com, spot.com, and facebook.com. Both of them are / Big Rich Live on the mic. Follow us across our social media programs. Like, subscribe, and share. Each one, teach one. That's what we roll here. And we're going to start the show off with one announcement, and then two kind of subjects that would be for our first show, which airs tomorrow, Thursday. Hopefully not. No promises. We'll see. It's either going to be tomorrow, Thursday. If not, it'll be the following week, Thursday. We got to see how we put everything together. We just got the logo, which now you can see right now, the logo up. And on the channel, we have the coming soon trailer of the intro to the show. It's going to be a new, improved show. It'll be our fourth different show on this channel called African American News. And basically what it is going to be an educational form. It's going to be not only our history, good, bad, and difference, but it's going to be what's going on now, what is plaguing us, what we can do to move forward. And also, just because I say, our news, our this, our that, I have a large Caucasian contingent and Asian contingent and Indonesia and all that type of stuff right there. And what I say to them is, you welcome also. This is just basically something that is different than the mainstream media. You know what I'm saying? Every time you turn around, I don't even watch the local news anymore. I don't watch news, period. But every time you turn around, somebody killing somebody, somebody raping somebody, somebody fraud somebody, somebody's doing some stupid stuff. So it's either that or stuff about President Tangerine. We're not really going to get into that. What we're going to do is this news show is going to be things that are happening in the African-American community. Positive, negative, and all the above. That's what we're trying to do with this particular show. Now, not everybody, but some people ask, well, will I get dressed up in a suit like Phil from the Advice Show, media and TV? Nope. I'm not doing that. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do button-down shirts or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe I just go with the polo shirts like I do right now. Maybe I'll do polo shirts on that show and then go back to the Big Rich Live on the mic T-shirts that we have, and I'll do that on the Big Rich Live shows, the Hump Day show and the Saturday show. We'll have to see, but it's going to be a little bit different. I've been asked a lot about it, about things, what are the first here, what's going on, why there's so much negativity and stuff like that. Well, Stevie Wonder can see why it's all negative. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is an indoctrination. That's what it is. You're not being taught. You're not being informed. You're being indoctrinated into a white supremacist type situation where white is good, all white is good, and what part of white is bad is not that bad, and all dark is bad, and what's good in the dark community or the melanin community is not that good. You know what I'm saying? So we just was like, you know what, we're going to go ahead on. We're going to try to do something. It's not going to be a long show, not drawn out show, because shoot, I have to shoot them all and render them all and upload them and all and stuff like that. But I'm not going to put no mammy-made shit on there. I'm going to do it right. So like I said, if it doesn't launch tomorrow, then you will put it like this. You will know if it's going to launch tomorrow by beginning of the day, because I'll tweet it out that the show is going to go that evening, or maybe we'll push it back to the following week. We'll see how it goes. But that's that announcement. I'm very excited. I really am. I'm very excited. We're going to, I think that platform, we're going to do not live callers, but we're going to do guests. We're going to do guests with that to chop up some game and just talk about different views and stuff, because a lot of my friends are not either woke like I am, or they just have a difference of opinion in certain things. And just because they have a difference of opinion than mine does not mean that they're wrong, So we're going to bring some people on, some cops and some lawyers and some entrepreneurs and stuff like that, just to talk about some things and just to chop up game for a little bit. So that might be the first show. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I got to line up the guests and figure out how we're going to do it, but we'll see on how that goes. So that was the announcement. Now, the first story we're going to talk about is Dez Bryant and his Instagram post. Dez Bryant, for those who don't know him, is a 28-year-old African-American star wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. He decided to enter or throw his hat in the game of race-splaining and got it totally wrong, and basically did an injustice to himself and our people as a whole. So I'm not gonna. I mean, everybody's beat it up, put it up. I will start putting it up, his Instagram post in there. It's quite lengthy, but you lost me when the first thing he said is, I heard a quote from Charles Barkley. I've heard Shannon Sharp, my man, Shannon Sharp, Corey Holcomb, Tariq Nasheed, Jason Black, all of these people who I look at as commentators in this space, and all of them said the same thing. You lose me when you say, or you quote anything that Charles Barkley said. Charles Barkley is the biggest clown. I'm not even gonna say coon. I'm really just not. He worse than a coon. He's a clown. He is the biggest clown. And you know what kills me about Charles Barkley is this man was raised. Now, he's older than me, right? I'm 49. I think Charles is like 51, 52. I was born and raised in New York City, okay? He was born and raised in Leeds, Alabama. Do you understand the racism, the starched racism that he must have encountered growing up in Leeds, Alabama? Not even Leeds, just Alabama, period. Anybody who knows me know that Alabama, Mississippi, I will never set foot in either one of them states. And the fact that he must have run into extreme racism. He's the first one to jump on black people and want to put out and tell us how we should act. Really? The biggest clown out there. Just a clown. So you lost me when you said that you saw a quote from Charles Barkley and agreed with it. Charles Barkley has never said anything. I'm talking about not snippets. I'm talking about a whole segment, a whole paragraph, if you will, a whole discussion. He has never said anything to uplift, not only uplift the community, but basically, fool, I can understand, basically, you don't got shit to say about the people who are holding your people down, the people who you work for, the people who pay your bills. So my thing is, like Corey and a lot of them jump on Stephen A. Smith, and I don't like Stephen A. either, but I understand that Stephen A. got to do what he got to do to pay his bills. Okay, cool. But what I'd rather you do, Stephen A. Smith, Charles Barkley, Larry Elders, these ilks, if you don't particularly believe this type of stuff that you send, I'd rather you not say shit. But see, then you be out of a job, because that's what they need. That's what they need. So Dez lost me when he talked about that. But basically, to paraphrase the whole thing, he was saying that it's not white Americans, it's not white people who holds black people down. It's black people. Now, and we need to be more accepting of our responsibility, and we need to have personal accountability. So like Shannon said, and a whole lot of other pundits said, a whole lot of pundits said, so I'm supposed to have, it's my fault about slavery. It's my fault about lynching. It's my fault about Jim Crow. It's my fault about redlining. It's my fault about mass incarceration. It's my fault about the war on drugs. It's my fault about stereotypes that continue to hold me and my people back. I'm supposed to be taking accountability to that. Now, before anybody says anything, I'm always the one that said that there's a segment, and this goes with any culture, any race, any religion, but we're talking about black people here. I'm always one of the first ones to say that there's a segment of the African-American community that I wish we can cut. It's almost like culling the herd. I wish that we can cut them out and just move them somewhere, you know what I'm saying, or make them a different color, so it won't be associated with me and mine. But I also realize that is a small contingent. The ratchet people's a small contingent of the African-American community. It really is. It really is. And I'll say this about me before I get back into Dez. I'm 49 years old. I'm college educated. I got a master's degree. I'm an entrepreneur. I own my own business, and not talking about this station. Don't have any illegitimate kids. Don't have any babies' mamas. Never had a negative encounter with the law as far as being arrested or anything like that. Yes, I've gotten tickets and stuff like that, but that's nothing like that. Okay. But I also understand that it's bigger than me. Just because I made it, the reason I'm saying it is because it correlates with what Dez is trying to say and other people of his ilk. Just because I made it doesn't mean that everybody else can make it. Let me tell you one thing. Growing up, I had 4 friends, and I'm not going to put their names out, but I had 4 friends, 4 really, really tight friends, right? One of them aspired to be almost like an executive. None of them are retired. None of them, you know what I'm saying? None of them. And it's not to throw shade on them, because they all work. They all have families and they all work. But I'm just saying, none of them are college educated except for one, the one that I'm telling you about. Other than me, I don't think anybody has a master's degree or doctorate or anything like that. So I'm supposed to, going with Dez and other people, I'm supposed to look down on them because I made it and they didn't. Or I made it to a plateau and they did. I understand that there ain't enough spots in the current system for all of us to make it. It's just not. And going back to my own personal thing, I used to be in the patrol car riding around in the low income neighborhood and looking down at them. Look at them motherfuckers there. Excuse my French, but this is a look at them. Get a job. This, that, and the third. All stupidness, ignorance coming from me. Then I actually got sick, got a chance to sit around and read and study and see what the deal is. And then I found out, dude, you not even 10%. You not even 5%. You are maybe 1%. And Dez Bryant and the rest of them that are making millions are 0.111%. So I used to be, that person, just pure ignorance, So like I said, I got sick and, I got a chance to read and study and listen to people who were in the know, people who knew more than I did, people who knew better than I did, and realized that, fool, just because you made it don't mean that everybody else can make it. Just because you had a mom, because I grew up pretty much in a single parent household, my younger brother and sister, which is unfortunately not the norm, but it is a large percentage of the African Americans' experience and growing up. But just because I had a mom to put her foot in my ass and made sure I did what I needed to do and kept the fear of her in me doesn't mean everybody else got the same thing. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. So Dez, with this idiotic, we need to all have self-accountability, which we do. But that is the furthest from it. Do you understand how many African Americans are out here struggling, out here working 2 and 3 jobs, trying to get a little bit of something? Really, dude? And every time they turn around, they being held back. And then this fool later on says, I've been racially profiled. Just like 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, he was racially profiled while would hang out with his guys there in the mall. Police or I don't know if it was the police or security, demanded he pull his pants up. I wanted you to pull your pants up also. I ain't trying to see you naked behind. But anyway, I digress. It's something totally different. But he says that, I don't have any ill will towards the whole race, just those particular people, which is admirable, which is great. You should. If everybody was like that, I think racism will get chopped down 3/4, almost 85%. Just boom. If you would treat people individually, like, okay, I had a bad experience with a black person, I don't automatically throw all black people in that pot. Or I had a negative encounter with a white person or with a cop or with a lawyer or with a citizen. I don't put them all in the same boat. But unfortunately, that's what people do. And the worst thing about what Dez said was, and not only him, he's not the only one that said that, but when people of stature in African American community say that, what it does, it gives credence to the white supremacists, the racists, the bigots, the Louis Gohmers, the Darrell Ices, the Representative Steve King, all of these, the Donald Trumps, the Mike Pence, the damn near the entire GOP. It gives them credence to say what they say and to make it seem like what they say is right. So basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to appeal to the wrong people. My thing is this: if you don't know what you're talking about, if you have not talked to people, discussed with people, did your own research, shut up. How about that? Shut up. How about, what? I don't really know. I'm going to do my due diligence. I'm going to talk to some people, and then I'll express what I need to express at a later date. People don't do that. People just don't. Charles Barkley don't do that. Charles Barkley said what the hell he want to say. And what is funny is Charles Barkley is lauded by a lot of those white supremacists and the dominant society because he goes off the cuff, but he goes off the cuff and talk directly and talk down to and about black people. Let him try to do that to Jewish people. Let him try to just go off the cuff and talk about white people. What he does is what he says about white people, he says it in jest and laughing and stuff like that, but it's always maybe one jab, one quick, jab. It's never no haymaker or left hook. Nothing. Because you understand your position. You understand exactly where your court jester need to be. That's exactly what he is. And Dez is not articulate. He's not educated. He's had a hard upbringing, extremely hard upbringing. So because of that upbringing, he should be more than what he is. Shannon Sharp of Undisputed says something that, just ran chills down my spine. What he said was, Dez, do you understand that you black? See, that's the thing is sometimes I feel that these people don't really understand you black. Now, you might say, Stephen A. Smith, well, I'm a black man. Okay. But do you really know what it is to be a black man? Do you really know? Because I can't say that when I was a cop for all that time. Now, towards the end of my career, when I had a little rank and had a little tenure and stuff like that, I was a lot different. But when I stopped, there was plenty of times where I should have spoke up and I didn't speak up. Now, let me preface this. It was nothing that I saw somebody kicking somebody's ass or planting drugs no, it was nothing like that. Nothing. But, the back and forth banter, the talking down to people when I should have said something and I didn't say anything, that type of shit that I'm talking about. Now, when I was on the back end of my career, I pissed off a lot of my colleagues. I'm like, hey, man, don't talk to that person like that. What the hell kind of shit is that? When the hell do we... Dude, everybody has that end moment. All of us have had that moment where it don't give a damn who you are, what position you have, you still a black person. So when you listen to Dez and other people like him say this, where it's not this, it's you, and you need to have personal accountability, that's when I want to throw the bullshit flag and say, look, man, stay in your lane. Because the end of what Shannon Sharp said is, not only do you remember that you're a black man, but they are not laughing with you. They're laughing at you. They are applauding you for catching touchdowns, for making their day better, for making their team better. They don't give a damn about you. They not sitting around and say, oh, I want my daughter to marry somebody like Dez. I want my son to grow up like Dez. No, that's not it. No. What they saying is that I want my daughter to get with somebody like the sons of Jerry Jones. I want my sons to be like Jerry Jones. That's what they talking about. They not studying your behind at all. So what you do is you disenfranchise your own people. You get people pissed off at you. And you sit around there and think that you're saying something to impress the dominant society, and they sitting around there laughing at you. Let me tell you something. I have majority of my clients are Caucasian Americans, right? No, that's a lie. That's a lie. It sort of changed. It started out predominantly African American, then it went more Caucasian Americans, and now it's more Middle Eastern and sheikhs and sheiks and all that type of stuff right there, right? But what I'm saying is, I listen to you. You have nothing else to do, but you're standing around listening to them. And they don't be sitting around there throwing around the N-word, not standing in front of me. I don't know what they do when I'm not in the room, but they actually laugh at clowns like Stephen A. Smith and Charles Barkley. And now Dez Bryant and Larry Elder and all that type of stuff. They was like, dude, do they know that we look at them like, what kind of bullshit is that? Because we're not going to allow somebody that look like us to talk that trash to us to a certain extent. You feel what I'm saying? To a certain extent. We'll allow you to go to a certain extent. Us, shit, we don't, because we don't have any code. So everybody who asked my opinion about the Dez Bryant thing, I know some people has called him a coon. Like I said, I don't consider him a coon either. I just think he's just ignorant. You know, I'm just ignorant, you know, trying to appease, you know, the dominant society, and it just came out stupid. And I'm not even going to say that the person, well, that he was trying to be malicious. I don't think he was trying to be malicious either. I just think he's just a straight fool. That's just how it goes. It is what it is. So, you know, let me know what you think about it. You know, that's pretty much why I say. The last thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about something that happened last week on the Corey Holcomb 5150 show. Anybody who don't watch it, you need to watch it because it's sort of fun. It's sort of funny. But the show ended up with a fist fight between one of the show's co-hosts, Zoe Williams of the Zoe What Show, and the comedian Aries Spear, who was a guest. You know, it seemed like, you know, Corey has been trying to have different guests, if you will. He had Earthquake 2 weeks ago, had Aries Spears last week. So I was one of them who said that Aries did not need to be back on the show at all because he was belligerent. He was trying to take over the show. He was very disrespectful. He was inebriated, plus drinking more alcohol and stuff like that. And that stuff went too far. I've been reluctant to speak about it because I didn't want to see the fight. I don't like fighting. I'm just not really into fighting, especially between two brothers. And I was watching Tariq's show over the weekend, and he showed it, you know, so I had to see it. You know, it was pretty much what I thought it was, and I was very disappointed in the outcome. First and foremost, you could say, hey, did Aries Spears deserve to get lumped up? Yeah, you know, you talk that trash and stuff like that, then, you know, you reap what you sow, you get what you deserve. But I also felt that was a bad look on Zoe's part to strike this man, especially to strike this man while you're filming. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, there comes a time where, I've said this so many times, there comes a time when there has to be an adult in the room, where you sit around there and think that, you know, this is going to be a bad look. This is a bad look. I really need to make sure that we are put in a positive light at all times. We act in a positive, professional manner at all times, period. If Zoe had a problem with Aries, which obviously he did, he should have waited. He said, look, I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm through. After this go over, I'll handle things once we go off air. That's all I'm going to say. And if it's some situation where Aries had to really started talking shit, if I was Zoe, I would have got up. I was going to say F. I would have got F up. I would have got up. I'd have walked out. I'd have waited as soon as we went off, and then I would have snuck him if that needed to be the case, if that's what you wanted to do. But to get up and do that, I just felt that it was a bad look, first of all. Second of all, it was a disrespect. It was disrespect to the show. It was disrespect to all of us, you know, for us to be watching that, you know. And then what happened? Because you don't know who watching and who recording. Now that show comes from the YouTube channel to now it's on TMZ, and it's all about, and is in this, in that, in this, in that, in this, in that, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, then jump up, and now you swinging.